And I don't understand it, but even though there's some things I don't agree with what I saw on the Nintendo Direct today, I have to admit that Nintendo is doing a good thing by telling the rest of the fucking industry, fuck you. We're not going to announce what we want to, we're going to announce what we want to announce when we want to announce it, and you guys can fucking stick it right up your ass like you've been doing for years, and we don't give a fuck. We're not Hollywood like the rest of you. Do you know what I'm saying?
As far as I can remember, Nintendo have done that at E3, because if you go back to the reveal of the Wii, they just had the console at the event. They had a separate event for the controller. That was a big thing about the Wii, was the controller, and they didn't even announce that at E3.
Yeah, right, and that's really true. Like, we haven't had a huge reveal from Nintendo. I mean, when people say that since Twilight Princess, like, that was the last time, it was like the big reveal of the Wii, the last fucking, fart fucking of the GameCube. Like, the GameCube was farting out, and it was coming out to the Wii, and they had, Twilight Princess, and it was for GameCube and for the Wii. I mean, that was the last time we had, like, the biggest, hugest announcement from Nintendo. Today, I feel like we're almost there, because we saw Zelda U. But they fucked up hardcore with Zelda U by not showing enough of it, and by not making it the showcase of the entire Nintendo Direct. I honestly don't understand, like, what's up with that, dude? I don't get it. Yeah. What's the squeaking? It's probably like the feedback, because I can hear my feedback coming out of your gamepad and like back into the recording and stuff. I have you directly hooked into my PC, so like anything that's going on in the background, even if it's like your TV playing my voice, you're gonna hear it quite well.
No, it sounds like you're playing with a squeaky toy, like your dog or something.
Oh, that's my dog Zelda. That's Zelda. I'm sorry. The Legend of Zelda. Yeah, she's squeaking her fucking toy. I apologize. I literally have a dog, and the dog name is Zelda, and she was squeaking her fucking toy. Wee Man has acute fucking skills at observation. He is literally Sherlock fucking Holmes in this motherfucker, because he called it, dude. None of you. He called it. My dog was squeaking her toy. Dude, that was awesome.
Well, I'm just observant.
No, I'm just observant, dude. I know we haven't talked, and I haven't seen your face ever and everything. We've been friends for a really long time.
Last time we spoke was we were playing Battlefield on. It was the 360 at the time. I think it was Bad Company.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And we were in the Jeep something, and you were still left in it, and I think I blew it up on you.
Yeah, I know. I think you got mad at me because of how crappy like the Battlefield game was going, and you were like having issues because it sucked dick, and it was like no fun because we were losing. But you know what that is.
We just
Battlefield isn't really a console very happy game. It's a very PC centric game. I don't know if you've ever played it on PC before, but these guys like take that shit seriously and stuff like, oh, Battlefield's the shit, blah blah blah. On console, it's kind of an afterthought because nobody uses the keyboard and the mouse to play it. Anybody, if you ever played, like, imagine how frustrated we were when we were playing that, because it was you, it was me. I was frustrated. I was pissed off because we were doing so crappy. I was doing really crappy, like having a really crappy game. Because Battlefield is not like Call of Duty. It's completely different. Playing Battlefield with a controller is completely different from playing on a PC. When you play on PC, you play with people who have the keyboard and mouse, like major booted shit. And these motherfuckers, if you think you were frustrated then, imagine playing against these guys who have like this precise aim and 1-1 ratio movement and shit. When it comes to like how they can aim their gun and stuff, it's like, it's unreal, dude. It's so infuriating. I don't play Battlefield anymore because of that. I'm so pissed off at Battlefield. Fuck Battlefield! Fuck Battlefield! Fucking me,
well, something we're talking about Battlefield is, like, where are Nintendo sucking the third-party dicks for?
Whatever.
Like, where is it?
They're sucking the third-party dicks, but they're all the Japanese ones.
Yeah, there's absolutely no love from the Western audience at all.
Dicks. But the truth is that those little tiny Japanese dicks have a lot to offer. I mean, you got a lot of good games coming that are Japanese exclusive for Wii U. That's a big deal to me. I mean, because I like Japanese games. I'm not saying it's a big deal to everyone. I mean, how do you feel about it?
Well, they've always had a way. Nintendo is a Japanese company, and they will always cater to their Japanese crowd. It's, Nintendo Co. Limited is based in Japan. They do the main work of stuff for Japan, and they just tend to not really give a shit about the rest. It's up to Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Europe to try and pull some of that through, and they're just not helped
Yeah.
by Nintendo Co. Limited.
Well, do you think that fucking you would get those kind of relationships even in the past? I mean, if you look at the GameCube and you look at the Wii, I mean, just historically, Nintendo has had this kind of problem, like getting American developers involved and on board. The only reason American developers got on board with the Wii wasn't because Nintendo was catering to them in terms of trying to like coach them into making Wii games. It was because the Wii became a phenomenon, and other third-party studios had no choice but to observe that and start to make games for it because they felt there was a market there for that, and they wanted to like dip their finger in the pie. They wanted to get a piece of that money.
And then as soon as they realised that these casual Wii Fit players or
Oh, it
all
wasn't
the
just
ones that
casual
bought it
games
for
though,
whatever,
man.
they just didn't buy
I
any
mean,
other games.
look at like Redfly Studios, the guys who made Force Unleashed on the Wii. I mean, that was a real serious hardcore type of game. I mean, you had those kind of games for the Wii. You had Mad World. You had the kind of hardcore experiences that you see on the Wii a lot more like number now. Like on the Wii U, it's more about like all those kind of experiences. On the Wii, you had the casual as well, like you were talking about and stuff. But there were some real fucking third parties that invested in some real hardcore type geared games on the Wii. You know what I mean? There was a lot of that. I mean, look at Xenoblade. Look at fucking what is it? Pandora's Tower. Look at that whole Rain, the last story or whatever. That whole Operation Rainfall thing that happened. I mean, you were there for that, dude. You were there for the Operation Rainfall stuff. I remember you being on the boards for that.
Yeah, well, and the shame is, with that support, it is very much a minority, and they are listening to the minority and bringing in games here, and when they come here, nobody buys them,
Yeah,
and
right.
that just
That's
makes
what
it
it
even
is,
worse.
right? We all talk about how much we want it on the internet, and then when it gets into the fucking store, nobody fucking wants to pay money for it until after it's
Yeah.
like become some kind of special thing, like how Xenoblade did, and GameStop re-released Metroid Prime Trilogy and re-released Xenoblade in terms of like their used copies, they had them reprinted basically, and then fucking opened them up and sold them as used copies. This is a rumor. It was something that I truly believe, but this is the kind of thing that's going on. Is these games are getting overlooked, like what V-Man is saying. Like they're getting
Yeah.
overlooked when they're released and not being appreciated until many, many moons down the road, until after it's already been said and done.
Sure, even look at Beautiful Joe. That
Beautiful
was a
Joe,
fantastic
Wonderful
Wii game.
101. Those are both great examples of games that mimic that exact kind of life cycle in terms of when it comes out, how shitty it is when it comes out in terms of sales, and how popular it becomes later down the road because it becomes almost hardcore. Like people, the only thing I can really compare it to is like people who like watch Rocky Horror Picture Show or something like that, who are like really into something that's like very niche, that's like very awesome, and then later on, because it's niche and because it's awesome and because it's so hardcore, other people take notice.
Yeah, it's the curse of pop culture.
Yeah, and it's like that with everything, not just games, right? It's like with the video,
Yeah.
with the music, with the movies, with the fucking TV. It's with everything.
But the worst thing with video games is the old style of it, the whole hard copy. It's with games, once it's gone, it's gone. They don't get reprints,
Right.
and like you have
No,
that,
they do
you
get
have.
reprints. Don't fucking fool yourself, man. In all honesty, what do you think about the whole Xenoblade Metroid Prime trilogy reprint idea that they had these companies actually reprint these games? Personally, I think they had them sitting in a fucking warehouse somewhere and decided to open them up so they could sell them for more money. They didn't necessarily have like Nintendo reprint any new games. It was more about the idea that they had these games because they didn't sell like we were talking about when they were brand new. Because when they were brand new, even though you had all these people talking about it on the internet, nobody actually fucking bought it, and they wanted to figure out a way to like make their money back. And this was a way. It's like to turn it into some kind of retro special dish. Like when you go to a restaurant and you get that like really the most expensive thing on the menu kind of thing. Like that's what they kind of turned Metroid Prime Trilogy and Xenoblade into later on down the line.
Well, that sort of corruption didn't happen over here. We didn't have that sort of problem. We just couldn't find it anywhere in the shops.
See, I'm totally fucking fucking retarded, huh? It's like different there in Ireland than it would be here, like the way that things went down in terms of the GameStops and stuff.
Um, yeah, well, when I was talking about reprints, I was talking like we don't have the opportunity to go and buy a brand new copy of the likes of a game that came out in the early life cycle of the Wii. You know, you don't have those opportunities to do it. For the likes of Rocky Horror Picture Show, people went and seen it when it was in cinema. It may not have done well when it was there, but when people started talking about it and this, that, other, they could go buy the DVD. They can watch it on TV. It still gets the exposure.
Right.
But with the games, you have to go and buy a copy of the disc to experience the game,
It's a little bit
and that
different,
doesn't.
right?
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I mean, because something like Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I'm just mean that there are games that within our gamer community have reached that kind of transcendence in terms of their legend almost. It's almost like some of these games have legends surrounding them in terms of like how great they are or how awesome they were, and like the fact that if you can still get them while they're available, you should buy them now, kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some
Which is another.
games just reach that kind of transcendence. I'm not exactly sure what it is and what it takes to like have a game reach that kind of transcendence, but a lot of Nintendo games reach that, and there's a reason for that. It's because a lot of these games only come out in limited quantities. Much like the Xenoblades and the Pandora's Towers, and I mean, Nintendo only releases so much. They don't just run these games on print forever, dude. So it's like at a certain point within the next Nintendo system console life cycle, the old games become hard to obtain. And I feel like, some of those games, they were great when they first came out. They just don't get the attention they deserve until later on in the system's life cycle, only because they're going to disappear.
Which is why Virtual Console and the eShop and all those sort of, sh- avenues for obtaining the games is such a fantastic thing, because people then can then go and see the likes of that Fit music that came out in the Wii U. That's an absolute piece of shit. They can see people talking about it and be like, okay, let's avoid this, and then go see the likes of. I've just downloaded How to Survive, and I played it for an hour today, and I thought it was a fantastic wee title. And I was like, anybody out there with 13 quid to spend, go get it. You won't regret it. It's a great wee game. Um, and it's not as if there's going to be a cut-off point for that either. You can still buy it when it comes to the end of the life cycle for the Wii U, because it'll still be on the eShop.
Right.
It's not that you go to the shop and you cannot find a hard copy of it.
And that's just what you're saying. Just like the Wii U VC was very important to people who owned a Wii, like that's how Wii U eShop is going to be to Wii U owners. It's like this is going to be your gateway in. And the problem with that is that they haven't really finalized the entirety of the Wii eShop in terms of like what they're trying to offer, in terms of how much they're charging for the things that they do offer, and in terms of the content that's available. I mean, there's a lot of kind of like what ifs about eShop right now, but what is available there now and what they've been building on in terms of like the Game Boy Advance. A lot of people were expecting GameCube announcement today. Like, what do you think about that? Like, not hearing about GameCube VC. Like, a lot of people want that.
Yeah, it depends what games are going to become available.
Right. Well,
There's
I mean,
a lot of
the
games
games
I can.
that are going to become available obviously are going to be the games that we already know about. But the problem with that is that it's hardly ever the games that we want.
Yeah, like, are you going to get Time Splitters? No, you're not.
That would be
And that
kind
was
of
a game that
awesome,
was.
wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, like I can't wait to see what Crytek UK are going to come up with, because that is Free Radical Design.
Yeah.
That's that company.
See,
Um,
you're into Free Radical, and I'm down with Free Radical because, I mean, these are the guys who originated the original GoldenEye for the N64. I mean, these are serious fucking guys. Like,
and it's a bit of pride for me, because the guy who created uh, Free Radical Design is a fellow called Dr. David Doak, and he's from Northern Ireland.
see? And there's even some kind of how do I want to say it? Like, patriotism to it, like in terms
Yeah.
of like the pride associated with these people. and we all feel this. And I think that that's really cool because I mean, Free Radical, in my opinion, I remember seeing like the last time I read about Free Radical was